Okay, so I'm like 54 and a half, maybe close to 55 hours into my fast. And this is the first 7-day fast that I've ever done. So I've done 3-day fasts in the past. 5 days is the longest that I've gone, but I usually will intermittently fast. So um, if you are new to my journey, which I haven't posted a whole lot on YouTube about my journey, but I have gone through a series of, different things for weight loss. I'm typically a heavier person if I eat the way that I have for a good part of my life, and so I've done the weight loss measures that fit better with folks who eat like a lot of volume, who like eat a lot of calories. So it started off with running. Like I would do a lot of that because calorie counting and tracking and cutting and that type of stuff was not going to be working for me at all, period, until I managed like a lot of my like mental health stuff, like that healing and recovery. And I think I could do it now, but kind of why I have this thing about like if I tell myself this, right, which is a part of the issue, a large part of it, but if I eat something, like I have to eat a lot, like I feel like I snack until I've eaten a lot of food. And so it's just been helpful to me to modify in a way that where I can still eat large meals. So before I knew anything about, really before I went to YouTube for any type of regimen or changes or anything like that, I started running. And I would run pretty far. Like I didn't really need to run far in the beginning in order to get the benefit of weight loss and things like that. But then of course, as long, after a few years of running, it was helping me, right? Like that was effective for me. I would say I went from like around 209 pounds, maybe 2009, 209 pounds. It's my max weight. I'm 5'7". I like to say 5'7.5". I think I still got that half inch, but I'm not really sure. So around like 200 to 10, like somewhere around there was my max weight around that time. So this was around like my college years, and then went from there to like around 170, 160. It was cool there. Like I was like 160, 165 for the most part, and I loved it. I was running, which was also really good for my mental health. And when I got pregnant for the first time, so this was back in 2017 was when I got pregnant. 2018 I had my daughter. And I was also going through school, get my master's. I'm a nurse midwife, and so I had finished school, had my daughter, gained a lot of weight in pregnancy. I was up to I was over 220. I want to say I was like 220, 222, somewhere like that. And it was hard on me mentally to gain a whole lot of weight. I wasn't in a place where I was giving myself a whole lot of grace or anything like that. I still ran throughout that pregnancy, and for that pregnancy I was also vegetarian. I ate vegetarian. I had some really deep meat cravings though a couple times, and would eat like a little bit of chicken on 2 occasions, but like I had been vegetarian before that. Okay, cool. So afterward, I was trying to maintain a vegetarian diet and lose weight, and that was not happening for me no matter how far I ran, and I would try to push myself. Okay. That's what I say to myself all the time. So, I had gotten to the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to, I need to do something, because I was running miles, like, 10 or so miles a day. And I know some people run more than that, but I never really had to do that. And I was a mom, at the same time, and I was breastfeeding. And so like I couldn't really necessarily be gone that long from my daughter without needing to pump or feed her, right? Like that was, so I had that restriction as well. So dealing with all of those changes, I wound up getting down to like 190 or 195, and my husband was like, I think we should try this keto thing. Like, we had never really tried it before. I hadn't even heard of it, and I was like, what, carbs, what? No, like, I gotta find another way. And then he was like, let's just do it for like, 30 days or 90 days. 90 days is what we first said we were gonna do. And so hit YouTube, watched all of this stuff about it, did some research and stuff on the internet about it, and was like, all right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it 90 days. We're just gonna change it up. We're gonna see. So I did that, lost like 36 or so pounds within the 90 days, and just sort of like maintained after that. But I definitely got down to like 155, 160 eventually. And what I always wanted to do was to lose all of the weight that I gained during my pregnancy before I ever got pregnant again. And so that wound up happening. So I would say when I was weighing 190 and still 195 and still trying to lose weight before I started keto, it was like a year after my daughter had been born. So I'm like, this is, like, I get there's no like snack back or anything like that, but I'm like, wow, like, I'm transitioning from I had already transitioned from exclusive breastfeeding at around like 7 months or so, and I'm like, I wanted to lose weight. So anywho, lost the weight, got pregnant again. I was like, well, this time, now I know keto, I'll just have a keto pregnancy. Well, a couple things happened. Number one, especially in the first trimester, that had always been my troubled trimester, where my anxiety went through the roof, and I'm an emotional eater, right? Like, that's a part of, or I am not an emotional eater. I'm trying to stop myself from saying those things or labeling myself, but I would eat emotionally, right? Pretty often. That was kind of my go-to. And I would eat like heavy on the like keto snack foods, and then eventually would just straight eat carbs. I would get to the point where I didn't really want to cook, and I would just go and grab whatever. And it was very rare though that I would eat like more like standard American food, but I was eating like pretty trash keto on a somewhat consistent basis, right? But once I got into the second and third trimesters, I was like on it, keto. I was even intermittently fasting, which again, this is not medical advice or anything like that. I am a midwife. I don't recommend diets to folks. I have folks speak to dietitians and things like that. There are very few dietary recommendations that I give folks. Though I do speak some to nutrition, but anyway, I'm not y'all midwife. So anywho, this is what I did, right? Like, I would intermittently fast, and I was doing keto, and I still wound up gaining like 70 pounds. I think I gained the most weight then. And it was because too, I was starting out at a lower weight. Like, I was like around between 150 and 155 when I got pregnant initially, and I had gotten up to like 218 or so. So boom, 218, I have her, and I'm like hanging out at like the 200s or so afterward, and did keto. Like, I would say I went keto from like maybe 2 weeks postpartum. Okay, so my son came in the room demanding something to drink. So anyway, where was I? I had gained the most that I had ever gained in a pregnancy, but then I brought it all down with keto for the most part. Like, I was hanging probably like around like 165 or so, and then I was like, I heard about carnivore and was like, I just want to try it. Let me just try it. And I did, and it felt great to me. And I got down at that point to like 145, which is pretty small for me. Like, I'm a pretty muscularly built woman, and it was definitely small for me. But however, once I got down, I was kind of hooked, and we had done some fasting and stuff like that too. My husband and I, and had throughout keto. So I say keto, and yes, we went keto, but we also intermittently fast fasted from the first 90-day challenge. So, but since 2018, so I've had some history with it. And then in between my first 2 pregnancies, I also dabbled with some prolonged fasts, which, like I said, was like 3 days, 5 days, or whatever, but mostly like 24 hours, 1 meal a day type stuff. Because again, like I said, I like to eat a lot at once, and those are just the most consistent with that. Like whenever I eat, like I don't have to eat all the time, but when I eat, I like to eat a lot. I like to feel full. Okay, cool. So leading up to this particular 7-day fast, so leading up to the 7-day challenge, now, like I had been, so my son is 16 months old now, 15 months old. He's 15 months old now, and I got up to like 208 with this pregnancy, this last pregnancy, so this is my 3rd. And throughout, I would sometimes eat keto, but most of the time I was just living, because I'm like, at this point, like, this is what I do. Like, I just gained a whole lot of weight, and it is what it is. I'll just lose it. I kept telling myself that I'll just lose it. Okay, cool. And after I had him, like, I was getting into ketosis so easily. Like, you know, I get a keto rash that's pretty uncomfortable, and it kind of spreads all over my face, like behind my ear, some parts of my neck, and it'll stick around for like a week or so. And so I know when I'm getting into ketosis, and I was like, okay, like without even really trying. And I'm like, well, do I really want to? Like, I would literally say this to myself, like, do I really want to lose the weight now? Do I really want to go to keto now? Do I really want to, you know, or go to carnivore now? What do I want? And I was just like, I just want to chill. I was on my, like, this was the first pregnancy where my anxiety was okay. Like, you know, like I was doing all the things, and I was feeling so much better in my skin. And I'm like, for once, I just don't want to feel like I am like, I have to lose weight. Like I was tired of like chasing that particular thing, like all about my piece. So throughout this past year, it's been very much like back and forth. Like, I mean, I would like to weigh less, you know, summer's coming up, especially around last year, because I had him in the winter. Summer's coming up, like I kind of want to, you know, fit my clothes, like the clothes that I had, because, you know, like I have like the smaller clothes, right, that are like, you know, like a size like 4, 6, you know, and then I have my maternity clothes, and that's pretty much it, you know, like that's my wardrobe. And so and some leggings. Like that's what I got. And so I'm like, I don't really want to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe to fit this current body. But I didn't commit to losing weight in a serious way, and my body knew that. And like eventually, so this was the first time that I was like just kind of giving myself a break. And so, long story long, I really just wound up kind of yo-yoing back and forth, where I wasn't fully committing to any sort of low carb anything, or losing weight in general. Like I just wasn't really committing to it. I'm like, I will get to it when I get to it. It is what it is, and I'll just wear leggings all summer long, and that's what I did. Okay, fine. And all through the winter, I'm like, whatever, it's fine. And then I'm like I really want to. I want to show myself. I started a business. I'm like, what I really want to do is show up consistently, and I haven't been consistent with myself. So how can I be consistent in my business? And it just wasn't working out. So I'm like, okay, fine. How you do one thing is how you do all things, and I know it that doesn't necessarily count for everybody, but it definitely counts for me. And I noticed that when I am consistent with myself, when I'm keeping my own promises to myself, and I'm fulfilling myself, that I show up in every way. Like I show up better in my marriage, better in my parenting, with my kids, for my family, for, you know, for my work. And I wanted to show up for myself, because I'm like, okay, yes, you know, in terms of having peace, like, it's not healthy to be like constantly like, oh my God, I gotta lose all of this weight. But if this is something that I want to do, not only for the sake of losing weight, but for my health, for my future, and in general, for what I truly believe is a healthier lifestyle, and I just want to do it, like, why not? You know, like, why can't you? So it became the case that I felt like I felt more compelled to continue to eat, you know, like junk food, continue to eat chocolate, continue to, you know, eat like ice cream from Mitchell's and, you know, stuff like that on a regular basis. And I'm like, you know, this isn't really how, I'm not showing up in consistency with what it is that I know, in alignment with what it is that I know is a healthier way to live. And so I'm like, all right, fine. This was around like December of 2023. And so I'm like, all right, fine. January 1st, I'm starting it. And I actually started before January 1st, because, you know, it's kind of like, why not start today? And so, but definitely January 1st, I can't remember which day I started. January 1st, boom. I knew I was definitely carnivore, period. Did that for 30 days. My body said no. I lost no weight. I like toned up like a little bit, or like lost a few inches. It was noticeable, fine, but I lost no weight. And then on February 1st, I was very much like, you know, well, I went 30 days, let's eat this or let's do this. And that had never been me. Like, I very much like, you know, I follow a thing. I do what I plan to do until I reach my goal. And I didn't do it then. So I'm like, okay, you know, I was still clearly sending mixed signals, and I was misfiring, you know, mentally. So I'm like, all right, it is what it is. Then something occurred to me just about a week and a half ago that was like, yo, like, you need to really, in order to do something and do it well, like, it has to be like newer to me, you know, like the keto was new. It was a new way of eating. I was interested in it. I got really enveloped in it. I was reading about it. I was thinking about it. I was cooking and, you know, you need something new is what I thought. Because the second time around, I got kind of around my, goal weight at the time, but I'm like, but the carnivore is what really pushed me, you know, because I was waffling at around like 160s, 170. So I'm like, man, you know, it was the carnivore that really got me down to my ideal weight. Okay, cool. So now that I've done the keto, the carnivore, you know, like, what can I do that's new? And fasting was something that just occurred to me, of like, you never really challenge yourself in that way. And it is caloric restriction, right? And so that is the way of eating that works, which for carnivore, I was not restricting calories to lose weight. Carnivore or keto, I wasn't restricting calories to lose weight. I was eating. Okay. In my window, I was burying like 2,500 calories, 3,000 calories. That was not it. That's not what I was doing. Okay, cool. So then now, I was just like, how can you challenge yourself? What can you do? How can you get more interested in this? And so this 7-day challenge was born from that. And so I'll make another video tomorrow, just kind of highlighting my journey when I'm at like around a halfway mark, which I will be tomorrow evening. And I'll let you know how the first 3 days went. But I did want to come on and just give a little bit of background, because I don't think that I have before. That's it. I am feeling good though, as you will see. I will get into it tomorrow. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like this video.